In this episode, we talk about buying new versus second hand in your vans and what to look out for. I also discuss with you about storage units and why it's such a good idea to have a storage unit if you're going to do full-time travel, and just some costings and stuff to do with that. And I also am going to do a review on the Spinifex little 12-volt fan. And lastly, we just go for a little drive past Manham on the Murray and just the flooding. There's a lot of flooding there, and it's certainly a lot higher than it has been in previous years. So stay with us, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. So in this segment, I'm going to talk to you about secondhand versus brand new. So this is our caravan. So one of the best ways to look for water ingress is, one, obviously in your windows and stuff, you want to just check that around near your window sills and stuff, that it's firm and you can't feel any soft spots. So looking for soft spots, looking for water coming in through any of the sills here. If you go underneath your cabinets, and I mean, I got stuff in mine, and this is how you'll probably find someone's, but I think it's really, really important that you actually ask someone if it's okay, if you can have a look. So a lot of people will look straight up at the roof and go, oh no, it looks pretty good, but they actually forget to look inside. So one of the best ways to actually have a look down in the bottom areas is to put your phone on with a light on it and just chuck it on in and record. And if you record it and you put it right down the back there, you can bring it back and have a little look at it. So you don't have to stick your head right in. So one of the things that are really important to make sure that works in your van, if you have a look down there, you can see the water pump. So you want to make sure that that works. You want to make sure that it works up here. So make sure it's plugged in so you can actually test everything. So it's about testing everything. I would suggest that you ask the people who own the caravan to make sure that your fridge is on. Sometimes if the caravan that you're looking at is on a slant, you might not be able to do it. So have a look and make sure that the fridge is on. And you can tell that it's cold or not cold by looking in this freezer compartment, and you just feel it. You can feel how icy that is. So I know that this fridge works perfectly. We've had no problems with it.
Yeah, apart from when it was at our house and the fridge wasn't working.
Well, that was because we were on a slant, and these three-way fridges do not work on a slant. Check all your gas and stuff as well. Make sure that always works. We have a gas stove over here. Make sure all your gas works. All the pipes are free from kinks or anything like that. Sniff for the smell of gas, obviously, because you don't want to smell any gas in your caravan. Check that everything's nice and sturdy and everything's in place. Also, when you're looking in a secondhand caravan, you want to check underneath all the cupboards, all the couches and stuff for any water ingress. Now, for this particular type of caravan, it's really, really important that one of the biggest places that you look at, excuse me, Toby, I'm going to go that way, is under here. So under your bed, if you look, that's the join there from where the bed end comes on in, and then there's your cupboard. So under here, you can tell if there's been water issues because it gets moldy and it's wet under there. So definitely check under there, check under in these cupboards under here, and all your little nooks and crannies and cupboards, and just check around those.
And also check for silicone.
Yeah. So outside of the caravan, obviously you want to check, your tyres. Now, I know with this caravan some of the things that needed to be done, so I took that off the price that they were asking for this caravan. So I knew that there were some things that I needed doing, but you want to check your tyres. These tyres are older than, I think it's 7 years. I've actually looked online, 7 years and older. You really need to change your tyres over. So these are all going to need changing. I need some new bearings and brakes as well. The other thing is your awning. Make sure all your awning parts work, everything works. The awning actual mechanism itself works really well in this van, but our awning is absolutely stuffed. So that was the other thing, you know, I was able to take some money off the final price because of some of the things that needed to be fixed. Some of the
the silicone.
yeah.
Look for stuff like that.
So you want to just look for, like, you know, imperfect silicone. You want to make sure that everything is, you know, like solid. Now I know that this foam stuff deteriorates over a course of time, so this is sort of something that we'll probably gouge out and re-silicone at some point in time. Make sure that this is all sealed. So you're just looking at all your seals, all your silicone, checking to make sure that it's all in good condition. So there is work that needs to be done, and that's the thing with a second-hand van, is that you are going to have some work that needs doing. We've had to do a few replacements. In this one here, I'm pretty sure that these struts are going to need doing at some point. I've just replaced the struts in the front, and I will show you a video of that in an upcoming episode. So yeah, I've replaced the struts in this side, and it sits a lot better.
Yeah, unlike
so
mine.
yeah, you're next. So the other thing to do is have a look and make sure that your air conditioning works, and all of your appliance, checking that all your doors are all functioning and working. So it's just a matter of going around and not being too shy.
Looking for, like, damage and dents.
Yeah. Look for patch-up jobs too, you know, like people patch up. Toby and I actually went to a caravan when we were actually on the looking phase, didn't we, Toby? And it was pretty bad. It had a lot of dodgy silicone everywhere. When we went in, we could see water ingress on the sides. I had a look under the beds, and there was just mould and all sorts under there. When we actually asked the people about the caravan, they really blatantly lied to us and said there were no leaks in the caravan, and it was obvious that there was. So don't trust the people that you're with. They may look like very sweet people, as these people did, and yeah,
They scammed us.
they were
Well, they were attempting to scam.
they were quite happy to take our money and offload this terribly leaky caravan. So for us, as much as there's some work to do on this caravan, the bones are really good in this van, so that's why I end up purchasing it. I've given it a good look over.
You should look for, like, marks, like dents and stuff.
So there are, you know, imperfections. So that's the difference. If you buy a brand new van, everything's going to be brand new, everything's going to be perfect. The other thing about buying brand new as opposed to buying secondhand is if you buy it brand new, there are a lot of unscrupulous builders out there, should I say. There are lots of good ones, but there are also ones that are a little bit dodgy. And if we think about the market in the last few years, we do know that some of the products and some of the building materials are a little bit sort of shonky and not really very just not a very well made kind of material. So you just really need to be careful with a new build and make sure that when you do your final inspection that you go over everything and be really picky about it. Because there's been several recalls for certain things. Also, the good thing about buying secondhand, and one of the positive things is that all of the problems have probably been ironed out because people have had to.
Table here?
Yeah, so people have had problems already and they fixed them. So most of the problems have been fixed and rectified. So in this caravan, yes, we need to do a few things, and yes, it is a little bit dated, but it's solid and it does us well. I mean, one day we will buy something new, but be careful when you buy new as you are when you're buying secondhand. I think, you know, follow the same rules. Look at the workmanship, look at the things that are structurally solid, and make sure they are solid. Make sure your cupboard catches are all correct, everything's correct. Yes, we need to do a few little things, but ultimately secondhand caravans can be really good and can be a good option for those people who are on a budget like ourselves.
We can see everything, the people with those expensive caravans.
That's right, and that's the thing. Toby hit the nail on the head there. It doesn't matter what you go in, because we can go to the same places that the brand new got everything vans have in them, and we still see the same things for the same you know, cheaper price really. We don't owe nothing on this caravan, you know, we don't have a big loan or anything like that. So that's just my words of wisdom and my words of advice about purchasing a second-hand caravan versus a new, and I hope that helps you a little bit. Any things that you would like me to cover on any of these segments, please just let me know down below and I'll be happy to start talking about them. So thanks again, and stay with us for the next segment. Hello everybody. So today I'm going to discuss about storage units and the need for them, because at the end of the day we do have a lot of stuff, and sometimes our stuff we don't want to get rid of. So I'm here today at National Storage, which is where I've happened to get my storage unit. It's actually not a too bad a price. I will go in and I'll show you our storage unit, and I might be able to show you a little bit of before of what it looked like and now what it's like. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff in there, and honestly I just keep putting in there, and it's like a TARDIS. It just seems to take a lot. So when you're getting towards the end of your house and you've got stuff still left over and you still don't know what to do with it, my suggestion is to definitely get a storage unit. Try to find one that's, you know, the cheapest one, and then you can always transfer into a bigger one if you need it. But for me, I'm getting the cheapest one, and I believe it's about $68 a month, and that's National Storage, where I'm in my location where I am. And I do have to pay an extra $10 for insurance, and I think that's up to like $3,000 to $5,000 coverage if you need it. So that's what I've done. I'm just going to go show you in the storage unit. It's a really great option. So come with me and I'll show you in the storage unit. I've got a few more things I need to pop in there, but I'll come and show you our unit. When you get a storage unit, you need to just determine how big it needs to be. Look, we don't really know, so if we find that we don't quite have enough room, we will get a little bit bigger one. And I think the next size up is just over $100. The other next size up is about just over $100 a month. So it's not actually too bad. It's quite manageable. And this way, Toby can be calm and knowing that all of his stuff is safe and secure. So we've got we've got kind of a smallish one. So this is the size of it. So it's actually not too bad, because it actually goes up that high. You could stack it that high if you wanted to. Be a little hard to get up there. Boop, boop, big bum. So we're just going to see if we can get as much of this in as we can. So we're just going to stack up as high as we can, and this is why I bought these crates. These crates I actually got from Bunnings, and they were on special for, I think they were $28 each. Oh, geez, Toby, he's being a muscle man. We can't disturb the guy. And they're 100-litre ones, and then I've got some smaller ones which are only $13. So they stack really nicely. And boy, oh boy, Toby, good job. Yeah, I think that's probably good anyway. Pissy Toby. Oh yeah. Good. How are you? So as you can see, it can go right up to the top there, so you can fit quite a bit of things in. So it's full, and it looks like we've just thrown things in and it's all going to come tumbling down on our heads. But a good idea, get something like this, just put your last minute stuff in. And I've just got to try and see if I can locate a bag in all of this. Wish me luck.
Yummy. Mr. Bean you.
Today we are going to test run these Spinifex fans.
I already have one.
Yes, Toby has one in his room, but I've got one for mine. So we got these for $40, I believe. They were on special at Anaconda. So they actually have lithium rechargeable batteries. They also have AC and DC charging, so 12-volt charging and normal power charging. They've also got a little light on them. And Toby had his in his room yesterday and it went pretty well. So we're just going to unbox this to show you guys what it looks like, and it's actually pretty good. That's not coming out.
don't matter. We know they're working anyway.
So it comes with a 12-volt adapter. There comes with your normal power cord, and that one, or any one of those, can actually recharge it, but it's also got an inbuilt battery as well. So the other things that it has is it's got a little switch here. It tells you which one to put it on. So 240, 12-volt or battery. If I put it to battery, there's no charge on that at all, is there? Can it work at all with a battery? Oh yeah, so the battery's already working in it. So you can actually have no power to it at all.
And you can also...
It works with this. And you just switch it to which one it's using, and it's charging at the same time as putting it into normal power. And there's a little light up the top there. You see it? Yeah. And it's actually quite good, and that's actually on high there. So that's actually quite nice. It actually does all right. It's got a little stand at the bottom that you can stand it up, or I think you can hook it up on something here as well.
I tried and it fell down.
Yeah, but it depends. You need a bigger hook than what you've got, not little hooks if you had a big hook. So Toby seems to think his works okay. So we've actually been using these fans now for about a month. We wanted to get a bit of an honest opinion on actually how well they work. Just want to say we actually had a blackout after some really bad stormy weather. And what was really handy about this, I mean, I think this might need charging, but it has this little light on it. Oops, do you want to press that button for me, Toads?
That one?
Yeah.
That's the light. Right.
Yeah, so they actually have lights on them. So it actually came in really handy while we didn't have any power.
I didn't use it though.
I used it on mine, yeah. So Toby's been using it for the last month, and he can give an honest little opinion on what he feels about it. I mean, they're not high quality as such, like, you know, your Sirocco fans, etc. But he's been using it in his side, and he seems to think that it's okay. You reckon it's okay? You reckon that, you know, it'll do, like it's something that that flows the air around and you feel pretty cool? And
yeah.
So it's got like your low and your high speed, but Toby seems to think that they're okay. And I think, you know, for the price they were, which was, what did we pay for them?
Like $50-something.
Yeah, I think they were about $49 each. So, look, if you're just trying to sort of save money, you can't quite get the money together to get...
They also have 12-volt.
Yeah, and you haven't got quite enough money to get a Sirocco fan put in. These will do for the interim. And I think these will
anyway, they're actually better, I think, than the Siroccos, because it has a light.
Yeah, so he seems to like them.
And also a battery as well.
Yeah, so we've got like a battery backup, and we've also got... you can put it into your normal mains. So, you know, our honest opinion is I think that they're actually good value for money, and if you're actually looking at budgeting, getting one of those little fans are actually not a bad idea. Chips.
can in there as well. Look, part there. The seats there. You got the whole road supposedly in the front. Over. No, I don't think they are. They're actually just putting the ground. Well, they're digging out the ground. Yeah, that's. The op shop's gonna get flooded money, and I'll say there's 50% off at like lots of the stores for flood sale.
Because these are the oh, look down there.
Yeah.
It's really high.
Told you.
Even the Pretoria will probably flood.
Well, the top story might be fine, it's just the bottom might not be. Like, the top story of the Pretoria should be fine. But, the bottom won't.
Goodbye, bowling club.
Yeah.
Possibly. It might be safe.
Maybe
Depends,
not.
really. Depends.
That's all gonna go. Pretty high. Patrol. Murray Princess is back.
Just try and see if you do a good one in there. The Murray Princess.
I might be able to when we come over this hill.
See it?
Yeah, pretty well.